Hello, I am Witch Nikki, and I would like to have a shout out, special little shout out to Kaylin Nielsen. She just subscribed to me and she made a comment on my last video, when we made cards. I'd like to also shout out to Aiden, Kaylee, Kennedy, Ginger, River, Rihanna, and Jordan. Remember we made these? Because I ran out of Halloween stories. I know. Which runs out of Halloween stories? I have plenty, but they're very scary for children, so I don't want to scare children when I'm doing children-y things on here. But I do have some very scary stories. And I have some real stories that have happened to me that are pretty scary too. We all do in our lives. Some more scarier than others. But scary is to the person who's experiencing it, whatever it is. It could be a spider crawling towards them, or just a spider on the wall or something. Or it could be seeing something out of the ordinary. Well, I've noticed that there are plenty of card maker people out there, and some of the cards are very, 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 very fancy. Now, I know some kids are just getting their skills of cutting and gluing and coloring and all of that. So I don't want to put something out here that is so hard that little ones are going to have trouble doing it. Even some adults might have trouble doing some of those really high-tech cards and skills where you need so much materials and devices to help you do them. My stuff is old school, and if it's old school, it's good in the new school. And but I'm going to show you a couple little things that I have made, that I am a very crafty person, believe me. I'm not trying to brag or boast, but I took this druzy and another little stone in here, a crystal, and a little charm, and I wire wrapped it. See, it's got wire wrapped all the way around. And I just love this because it reminds me of my mom, who's no longer with me, but she loved hummingbirds. And you see really closely a little hummingbird. Cute, right? But what 3- or 4-year-old could put together something like this? I'm not saying they couldn't. It is possible. Children will surprise you with their abilities if you just teach them what to do at a very early age. Now here's another little amulet that I made, also with a little crystal here and a heart, wire wrapped. That's a little special thing for me. Now, some time ago, I made what I call bark blessings. Take a look at this. Here's the back. It's got a little wire so you could hang it. And it is made out of bark. I don't know if you could tell, but it is. It's from a eucalyptus tree, and I used to walk through a park that would have these on the ground. Now this is pretty thick, and I was able to carve around and just use a round file to make the little edges. You don't have to do that. Some people just like them straight and plain or whatever. Then I put other little shells, and this is a prayer bundle. A prayer bundle is very special. It has sage, and it also has a little pinch of white baby buffalo fur in it. That did not come from a dead buffalo, no. It came from a living baby buffalo that one of my friends went to Montana one time and picked up some from the ground that they went to go see the baby buffalo. and also some earth soil from a place called Wounded Knee. Now, those are some things you could look up online. I'm not going to get into them here today. And this here, which looks like a little bone, it is. It's my dog's license tag. Lug's White Shield. And I made this to remember him by. I love my dog, but he died. He got cancer and he died. So, and here's another one that, this one was the first one that I made. And it has a string just tied to the top of it. But it's also on a piece of bark, the same kind of bark. And I did the little ridges right along the sides, all the way around. And you have to be careful, because if you're working with this and a piece of the the bark breaks, then you either have to start over or you just have to use what you got. And I added these feathers on, but it also has a prayer bundle and a crystal. And what I do is, when I have a prayer bundle, I take a little piece of cloth and I put the sage and whatever little herbs for healing or whatever, and I say a little prayer over it and wrap it up, and then wrap it. I don't know if you could tell on here. You can see that it's wrapped with thread. And then I also wire wrap it onto here. So that's why I would call these bark blessings, because I would put little prayers, just a general prayer for good health, to be protected, to be prosperous, you know, things like that. Just in general, thanking the Great Spirit for the blessings that we have in this lifetime in our on Earth. And my idea for this was that people who don't get out, you'd like, you know, like if there's somebody who's in your family or whatever that's ill, or, you know, in the hospital or something, people always bring flowers, cut flowers, and I'm really pretty funny when it comes to cut flowers. Yes, cut flowers are nice, but what happens to them after they've been in the vase? And after a while, they wilt, dry up, and die. Well, they've already been dead sitting there, because when you cut a flower, it dies. And I know that's a pretty serious subject for children, but it's true. So Witch Nikki prefers live plants in pots that I could take care of and see them grow. And with that, I remember I'm giving love back to the plant that the person gave to me, a living thing, and I'm taking care of it and growing. And that I feel like our relationship is growing. So I take very good care of the plant, because I want to take that much care into the relationship too. So I guess I wouldn't mind cut flowers if it was my funeral, because some flowers do, after they grow, like roses, they just die and wilt and drop off anyways naturally. It's a natural process. But if I'm healing and trying to get well, I don't want dead, dying things around me. Now, you might say, well, a bark from a tree, yes, true, but it also reminds people of the outdoors. I put things on here that, you know, the feathers, the crystal is also for healing, the prayer bundle that I've prayed into and sending good energy and vibes into it. So And then I just put it all there because it's very small. It's not going to take up a lot of room. You can hang it up anywhere. I hang mine up here, up above where you can't see right now. Sorry. So that's another thing that I made. But I'm primarily geared up here right now to make, and these projects take a lot of time, so the video would be more than a half an hour. And what, maybe some of you can't go out and get eucalyptus bark. Maybe some of you can't go out and get feathers and stuff like that. So I tend to use whatever I have around me. And you know, from my stories, I've been asking for, that's right, monster pictures. Now, do you think somebody sent this to me? Here's a hint. Construction paper. I made this to show you how simple and easy it is to make just a monster out of construction paper. I did this in just a few minutes, and I didn't even use scissors. But you can if you want to. But I did a very simple technique called tearing. That's right. Because you could tear any shape you want. Now I'm going to put my little monster. I haven't decided what to call him yet, or what kind of a monster he is, but I just made him up as I went along. So, how about we use an orange background, since it's almost Halloween, isn't it? I'm getting very excited. So, and would we like to make a card with this one? I think that would be nice. Fold it in half. Folding is very easy to do. And you know what? If you want to fold it again to make a smaller card, you can do that too. But then I would have to make a teeny tiny little monster, which I could do. I want to do kind of like a medium-sized one right here. I guess that would be medium-sized one. So, all you need to do then is decide, what color am I going to make my monster? Pink, red. How about red? I thought I heard somebody say red. Was it you? Now, this is a very easy part, sort of. I'm just going to start and tear in a little section that will cover most of it. See? Now I have two straight sides and kind of a rippedy side over here and a rippedy side at the top. And if you want it more jig-jaggedy, well, you can do that. And just almost looks like a little fiery monster now. But I'm going to take off some of the straight edges. You could save it later for little pieces that you might want to put on. That's what I did with this other little guy. Let's see. Okay. Now you might want to make them some legs, of course, because monsters might need legs. How many legs should we put for this monster? Now, since this is not a live video, I'm going to have to come up with, but you see what I'm doing? Just tear off. There we go. The more you tear or rip, the more weird shapes you're going to get. I think that's pretty good for a shape for a monster. All right then. I have my good old school glue. Yeah, you could get any kind of glue. Sometimes you could find glue in a 99-cent store. And yes, this is very simple, but still, just watch how interesting and cute this whole little process can be. Okay, I think we got enough here. Spread it out a little bit. Okay. But that tearing was very easy for me. And tearing paper is fun. Cutting is fun too, and you can still use scissors and cut out parts if you want to. That's fine. I won't get upset. You do what you want. You know what? Yeah, I forgot to make some arms. But I could still stick those on too. Okay. You could just, before it dries too much, you could lift it up and stick. And it's okay if it sticks off the paper a little bit. It's so interesting to do different kind of things. Don't really have to follow any rules when it comes to doing art, because whatever you feel like doing and creating, that's what you should do. And creating is the name of the game. See, I got some, and I have my tablecloth type thing covering my computer because I don't want my laptop to get messed up, so I put that there. Also, I was talking about glue last time, remember, and trying to keep it all on the paper, and I kind of made a little mistake in what I said, kind of. When I said don't get it on the rug, but if you do, your mom could clean it up. I mean, she would know how to clean it up and she could help you, but you should always help clean up your mess. If you make a mess, you should clean up the best that you can. All right. Eyes. I think we'll start out with just I just grabbed some white. That will be for the back part of the eye, I guess. And it doesn't have to be perfect either. I think the weirder it is, the kind of cuter, spookier it would be. Why did I close this for? Guess I was thinking I was done. Okay, just pop that right there. Okay, and another piece, because, well, he could be a cyclops if he has one, but then he would have to have it in the middle of his eye, I mean his face. And here's another one. Now maybe some of you have checked out the parade. I was doing the cards here, and then I almost forgot that we were having a parade in our city, and I went to you know, I just went as is. I was already dressed with my hat, so I just put on a cute skirt and went out and got some videos on there. And they weren't the best videos, so I'm kind of sorry about that. But because sometimes I thought I pressed pause, but I didn't. And I was still filming, even though I was not even looking at anything. Nothing was going by. Anyways, it is what it is. Now I'm going to do green for the center-ish part of his eyes. And you just rip out any shape. See that? Doesn't matter if they're the same or not. This is a monster, and a monster can come from anywhere in your imagination. Something that you just made up. And this isn't taking very much time. I'm talking. And you could do whatever you want to on it. You could do teeth and mouth and all of that. You could get really elaborate. You could even put, if you have glitter and stuff, glitter is very, very kind of messy sometimes because it gets all over, and it even gets on your hands, and then it gets in your hair and your clothes, and whew, you just have to be careful with glitter, especially if you're like 3 or 4 years old. Look at that. See the eyes now? Okay, mouth. Mouth. How about a black mouth like I did on the other monster? Rip. This is too big for a mouth. Wow. I'll take this piece. See? Now it's still too big. You have a gigantic mouth if I did like this. Wow. So what you need to do is you just rip around some of the parts until it fits the size that you need. And you could have an odd shaped mouth too. Yep. Monsters could be any way, like I said. Oops. Almost dropped in my trash bag. Wow. See that? Now, I think we'll make little room here for some teeth. We're going to have some green teeth. And I'm just going to dab those little pieces because I have some left over from when I made the other monster. So I'm just going to go with that. And you just glue it on any way you want to. Just one more tooth. Monsters have to have some kind of teeth. How else would they eat things? See? And believe me, what mom or grandma or grandpa or dad or whatever parent you have, what parent wouldn't love something that you made by ripping it together and putting it there, and then of course cleaning up your mess? So you could see, I'm doing that right now. I was saving some of the bigger pieces right there, and I'll put them. Don't worry, I will clean up my mess. I just like saving bigger pieces, but if they're so teeny tiny, then yeah, I kind of get rid of them. Put them in my trash bag down here. I have a trash bag. And you could do that too, what I said about adding things to it. You know what would really be good? If you went out to the yard and found some little leaves and pasted some little leaves on there, like around here maybe. Or made like stems and then put like some leaves on there, like above the pumpkin. That would be cute. Or on this one too. Or glitter if you like glitter, or sequins. Sequins are like little round shiny things. I have some, but they're all like Christmassy, and that wouldn't go with Halloween stuff. They're all green and red and colors like that. I didn't mean to say blah, but it just wouldn't really work too good. Anyways, how do you like my little monster? On this monster, I gave him some eyebrows. I forgot to put eyebrows on this monster, but you could do that. See the little eyebrows? Because then you could tell if he's mad or happy. Can't really see my eyebrows right now because my hat's kind of covering it. My bangs are there, but when your eyebrows go like this, you're mad. "Rrr," and they go up. You're like surprised. And like this, like happy. So you can make them any way you want to. And let me see what time. It's hard for me to see what time it is on there. Ah, okay. Yeah, because sometimes my camera is only just on my phone. That's all I got, folks. You get what you get and don't have a fit. I'm not really fancy with a lot of stuff, but I try to be as fancy as I can for kids. But I don't want to be so fancy that kids can't copy what I'm doing. And I really like when kids get encouraged. You see how easy this was? You could put it in an envelope. You could make a smaller one. It's okay if you fold it. You could send it to me. Or it's really hard for me to show pictures on here because if it's on a computer or something, I have to turn that around and take a picture of it first and all of that and pause it. I could still do it, but who doesn't love getting a little card for any time? And you can send me a monster card any time of the year. It doesn't have to be Halloween. I'm Witch Nikki, and I am a witch 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, all year long. I don't wait for pumpkin spice to come out on the shelves to be Witch Nikki. Nope. But some of you might say, a real witch? Yes, I am. I'm a good witch. There are all kinds of witches, just like there are all kinds of people. And I'm not saying that I'm not a people. I am a person, yes. But some people do choose all kinds of things to do in their life. And I didn't just choose to be a witch. That's something I was born with. And when you get older, you can have someone who's knowledgeable about witches to tell you about them. Don't just go online and search for witchcraft or how to be a witch or witch schools and stuff like that. There's really no such thing. It's a fictional thing. Yes, there are witch schools out there, real witchy schools. But I have my opinion about that. And you must be very, very careful if you get involved with something like that. I would never just say, oh, go to this witch school or that witch school. Being a witch is something I was born into. Just like some people are very gifted at running, so they become a runner, or playing basketball or something like that. Well, I was born to be a witch, and I have a lot of witchy qualities and things like that. Yes, not everybody could just poof be a witch or wave a wand and make a spell. It doesn't work that way. But what I'm trying to say is, if you want to make a monster picture and send it to me, I'd love to share it here and say, look what somebody made. Look what River made for his grandma. Or Ginger Lily. She made that one that we saw with the Cyclops with the eye in the middle. She used technology to do that. But she's been going at it for 8 years now of learning different ways to make stuff. And this is about the easiest, simple little thing that I could think of for any little kid to make a monster. You could also, won't probably have too much more time here, but you can use a marking pen and you could just make a picture. This kind of looks like a ghosty monster. See? And you can do different things like that. See? You just draw it. It's not how good you can create. It's that you try and try to create. And create something that you're happy with and that you're proud of. And that's what's important. I love you all. Have a very blessed day. And I hope to see you real soon.